Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Elemental Maker. Today I am going to show you the process I use to build a drywell. Now, as I mentioned on a previous video showing the new to me old lathe, I'm building my old detached garage into a workshop. So I've actually already trenched out about a 100-foot length trench down to 36 inches. Ran 2 half-inch lines of PEX so I can actually get some water out there. You need water in a workshop. And I had considered putting some sort of big jug up, you know, kind of in the rafters that I could refill with the garden hose and kind of use that. I ended up just running PEX. I don't want to have to deal with refilling something. The other thing is I don't want to have to deal with emptying water. You could just set up a 5-gallon bucket under your sink. Lots of guys do that for their workshops. But I wanted something a little more permanent and something just completely hands-off. So I ended up building this dry well. Runs about 10-15 feet away from the garage. 36-inch diameter pit and about 4.5 feet deep. And you'll see the construction of it. But basically it's drainage stone, some activated charcoal in there so I don't ever have to worry about contaminants getting into the ground. Just, you know, you never plan on putting anything bad down the drain, but just in case, you know, you wash your hands, there's some oil on them, that sort of shit. So, fun little project, and I hope you guys enjoy. Doing a very fun part of the garage renovation today. As you can see, got some boards covering a big deep hole that any porn star would blush to have. I don't know if you guys can really see that. I can't see the camera screen too well, but about 4 feet deep, 3 feet wide. Gonna be using this stone here to make a drywell and obviously this little, there we go. So there's my drainage pipe, just for a little utility sink in the garage. So you can see where I broke through the concrete, got the PEX coming up, 2 half-inch lines. One I'll use for water, probably the blue line. The other one I figure I'll use for compressed air, feed it back into the basement. Nice little 100-foot run, so that was fun to dig out. It was also a lot of fun to dig under the footer of this garage. That sucked. So what I'm gonna do is put probably inch polyiso foam here before I do any pouring. That way the cold doesn't transfer through the wall, and my PEX lines will be pretty far in. I'll keep them about here, but the drain will be a little closer to the wall, and obviously I don't want that freezing up, so a little bit of insulation in there to keep that area from getting the chill. Got the big hole. Gonna line it with some landscape fabric. Got the 30-year stuff, and that'll prevent silt and mud from getting into the drywell, but it'll let water permeate outwards. So, gonna put the landscape fabric in, do a little layer of gravel, and then I have a 30-gallon barrel that's gonna act as my reservoir. I'm never gonna use this capacity. It's complete overkill. I probably could have done a little 5-gallon bucket in the yard, but I figure it's better to have the capacity and not need it. Sorry the lighting's shit, but there's the 30-gallon barrel, which once held hot peppers and garlic and some sort of pickling solution. It actually smells quite delicious in there. It's been thoroughly cleaned out, but you know how smells just remain in plastic. I did briefly consider using this for brewing. Do some 30-gallon batches. Well, 25-gallon, gotta leave a little headspace, but everything would be infused with garlic and pepper smell, so no thank you. Also, I'm gonna be adding a nice layer of charcoal. Now this is proper lump charcoal, none of that Kingsford briquette bullshit with all the sand and clay, which arguably, now that I think about it, might actually make for good filtration media. But I'm gonna be putting a nice thick layer of lump charcoal on the bottom of this barrel here. So the way it's going to work, I'm going to have some holes drilled in the bottom surrounded with landscape fabric. I'll staple it to the body there, so the water will only be able to permeate. It'll come through probably the top side, drop down onto some gravel, which will then filter to a bed of charcoal. Any nasties get trapped in the charcoal, which has insanely high surface area and will prevent any bad contaminants from getting into the groundwater. Now, the lid, the issue I have here is if this thing overfills, I need to have an area for it to be emitted from the top. So I got a nice little pop-up emitter that'll be visible in the yard. That'll also kind of act as a little access hole. If any debris gets in there, I can, you know, reach down, pick it out, that sort of thing. And I'm just gonna whip up a bulkhead for the top of this. It's nice, thick plastic, so with you know, a foot of soil above that, you're never even gonna notice the ground deflect. It's pretty strong shit. So that's the game plan. Let's go whip up a bulkhead for the top of this thing. I'm also gonna have to cut a hole in the side when I actually lay my pipe. But that's the gist of what we're doing here. All right, guys. So the game plan. Obviously, this is a bit of an exaggerated version of what'll be in the ground. It'll probably only be about that long. So I'll lop the tube somewhere there, and we'll have 6 inches of soil above this. Something like that, maybe a foot. I don't quite know how it's going to work out yet. But I needed some sort of bulkhead to adapt to this. Now, they sell 4-inch PVC bulkheads. I don't think they're for SDR 35. I think they're for Schedule 40 or Schedule 80. Back when I was in the pipeline business for a brief period, used them constantly. I did not know, however, you had to be Bill Gates or Jeff Bezos to purchase one. They are freaking expensive, at least the ones I found. So my game plan instead, I'm doing this project on a budget. You know, I was trying to keep it under $100. I'm probably, gravel was 80. So with the PVC 1.5 inch, I'm probably at 120. So not that far off. And minus my time, of course, you know, digging that hole by hand. Quite a job. So what I'm going to do is cut this out, this little square thing, cut a hole out of here, match them up, put some screws through the lid into the back of the PVC, and then I'll just be able to screw this. Whoa. Screw this, that's right. Screw this sucker on without issue. Got some stainless steel screws. Again, I don't want to ever have to dig this bastard up. This is a one-time thing, and that is it. We'll mount this beauty in the vise. Clip down. Nice old Chaz Parker vise. This actually, I don't know if you guys have seen this before, but this vise came with the house. So, gonna mount that on there. Use a couple little pieces of wood here. Good. Put that up there, and we're just gonna sandwich this baby down. Nice. It's great if they split. That's what you want. You Alright, that ain't gonna move. Now, we can drill it. Gonna torque this so I don't blow my wrist off unintentionally. That presents a bit of an issue, bottoming her out. My apologies to you purists who had to witness me using a Bauer, you know, one of the Harbor Freight House brands. But I'll tell you what, they're a reasonably priced blade, and these things seem to last pretty well. I've used that a few times. Got him! Pretty close to center too. Cut off the little dingleberries left over. That way she'll shit. That way she'll shit. That way she'll sit nice and flush. There we go. Alright. All nice and deburred. Beautiful hole. Got the lid here. We will also introduce it to Drilly McDrillface. And we'll just melt through this. Where I can't find the hole. Woo! Beautiful. We are done with that. Get out of there, you hooker. Yeah, you can see that is some nice thick plastic. We don't really have to worry about anyone falling through this. Oh, don't run away. I'm just trying to be your friend. This is, of course, the RTV Black. Oh, bring out the power of Michael J. Fox. Come on. Pretty sure, given this shakiness, I probably will develop a Parkinson's at some point in my life. So, I'm just trying to not offend anybody. I think it's who I am. If you get offended by that, you're a loser. This is why symmetry is a good thing, and why I don't follow it, because I do enjoy challenging myself. And, you know, trying to locate these holes now. Use the 3-pronged approach, like she's a real pro. And we'll see if we can't get these holes aligned. Hey, look at that. That is a beauty. Well, that's what we got. Nice, strong bulkhead attachment. That would probably work perfectly fine for a rain barrel as well, if you're doing that sort of thing where you want to use it for 2 months and completely forget about it, and then it leaves just huge flood foundation issues because it's overflowing, and that's a great idea. So now we will be able to set it up as such. We'll have, hopefully this is all in frame here. We'll have that. So any discharge will, gotta love the discharge, we'll just pop up, go right into the yard. Not that that'll ever happen. Again, this is going to be very minimal use. This is just kind of a code regulation sort of thing, something I like to do for every dry well that I make. So here we are at the dry well, and as you can see, I got to go about 6 inches deeper. I want to have a nice little base of gravel to rest the barrel on, and then a bit of headspace above that. So I gotta take it a little deeper here. Somebody said putting your bar in the hole would be fun, but this is not. All fabric, time for gravel. Shouldn't have any problem percolating water through that. All right, we're about there. This capacity is going to be well over 30 gallons. So there it is running into the garage. That'll just dump in there. I'll put the lid on now. Just put that on to keep the gravel out. So before my camera died, you can see we have that just about level with grade. The lid will drop a little bit as we compact the soil above this, so that'll be slightly below grade, which is where I want it. I didn't glue any of those joints, so I can always come back and adjust it as needed, but you just don't want to hit this sucker with the mower or have it too visible. Got it wrapped up, get some soil on there, and just glue up my joints for the actual drain. Backfill, done. There we go, guys, all buttoned up. Still got to do the paver base there, no big deal. The hard part is done. All tamped, nice and level for the most part. I'm sure the gravel will settle over time, and I'll have to just do a few skims of topsoil to keep it nice and level. But I don't think the barrel will sink. That is adjustable. Again, I can just pull out the PVC, adjust the length as needed. Stuff like this, you really don't want to glue the joints until it's had some time to settle. Even then, what's the point? Leave them loose. There we go. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you next time.